It's Thursday, and you know what that means. It's time for there was a fire at work today.
There was a okay. So when you were telling me that you had a crazy work story to tell me on air,
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting it to be fire related. So do go into detail.
Yeah, hold on one second. By the way, this is a Sprite plus tea that you can find at Walmart. Not a sponsor.
How are those?
They're not bad. Like I'm not a big like lemon tea guy, but like it puts me in mind of like a brisk, like a lemon tea. Like
Okay.
um,
I
it's
guess
not
that would make sense because I think Brisk was owned by Coke, so that would make sense that that would probably be the tea that goes into the Sprite.
probably. It's
And
not
I,
bad. Like
I love, I love Brisk lemon tea and shit like that. I'm drinking a Liquid Death, which I believe we were talking about sparkling water one day, and
yeah, the episode with Maven, we were talking about sparkling water before it got in.
these have completely turned my opinion around on that because I absolutely have fallen in love with these things. So we're not sponsored by Liquid Death either, but if you
No.
guys want to sponsor me,
Listen, we'll take any sponsors we can get if we're being completely honest.
but yeah, get into this fire story, man.
Okay, so I don't know exactly how it started. All I know is like I was walking around doing my job. I was like, man, I can't wait to like be done with this walk that I'm doing so I can like take a break and take a shit and stuff like that. About 10 minutes before I'm supposed to go on my break, the alarm starts going off. I'm like, well, that's new. Okay. What could be going on? So I go to the back area like where all my team is at, and we're like, okay, everybody's got to get out. It's like, oh, okay, we'll go out the door. And so we walk across the street to our area. It starts pouring down rain. So that's which it's Western Pennsylvania. So it's been pouring down rain for like the last, it feels like 6 months straight. Um, so yeah, it's pouring down rain. We see a fire truck come in after everybody's already evacuated from the building. And I don't know what started it or like what's possibly caused it, but yeah, that was my work day. And then like we were over at like the shoe store across the street for like shelter from the rain, and we were over there for like a good half hour, 40 minutes.
So
And
where
then
did the fire start?
I don't know. It wasn't on the side of the store that I was on, from what I understand. Uh, but I don't know what caused it. I don't know if I will ever know what caused it or what happened or why the fire department was called in the first place. But that's all I know. I had to leave the building and get paid while standing in a store that was not the store I worked
Hey, dude, all that matters is you got paid.
at.
But
Well, the best part about it was is like I said I was going to take my break before like that fire alarm stuff happened. The second we got over to the building, I was like, I'm taking my 15-minute break.
oh, dude, I've got a great fire alarm story too, and
I gotta hear
this one
it.
is
Not a
caused.
sponsor.
This one is caused by yours truly. I
Oh,
still don't know how this one was caused by me, but it was caused by me because the fire detected off in my sector of the building.
yeah.
Remember, I was the only closer for the Walmart deli for like 7 years or so. So I remember this vividly. It was right around Christmas time, after Black Friday, but like in the month of December, still people are in and out, in and out, in and out. I was tasked with cleaning the floors and the walls. Floors is a normal, duty for us, but
Right.
deep cleaning the walls is a different thing. Usually that's, saved for a different time during the daytime. No, they put it on the only closer that was there that night. I'm scrubbing the floors. I'm scrubbing the walls. Mind you, it's with like the chlorinated cleaner that we used to clean the floors and shit like that. So getting the walls white and everything. I'm scrubbing, and then through my earbuds I hear a blaring fire alarm sound.
Mhm.
Okay. Odd. I'm still scrubbing. I'm like, well, if I can just try to squeegee this in real quick, then we can get out. So I'm trying to squeegee it real quick, and then my coworker Isaiah runs over and is like, "Hey, we need to go. Everybody out." Well, fuck. All right, this is gonna stain the floor horribly in a weird pattern because it's bleach floor.
Mm.
So we go outside, and we're sitting there. 20, 30 minutes go by, much like your situation. Fire truck rolls in, bunch of men run in. They're in there for a good couple minutes. I'm talking with my manager. I'm like, what's going on? And she turns around and starts questioning me. She's like, what happened in the deli? Like, did anything start smoking or anything? And I'm like, no, not at all. I was cleaning. Everything was off. Everything was apparently bleach has fumes that can set off smoke detectors.
Mm.
And while I was using the chlorinated cleaner on the wall, I guess I got it close enough to said smoke detector that it made it think that there was a fire of sorts in the building. If anybody can verify this for me and help me understand why my department said it caught on fire while I was cleaning the floors and walls.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were out there for 30 minutes and then all the managers come to me and they're like, well, what were you doing? And I was like, I'm doing what she told me to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's my little fire story.
So it didn't actually catch fire. It was just a fume.
Yeah, but there was another time, when you work for a Walmart for 7 years, some crazy shit happens. There was a kid that set off a black cat in automotive. And yeah, that caught on fire for a little bit. Thankfully, the person in automotive was smart and grabbed a fucking fire extinguisher.
Yeah.
But yeah, Walmart really is one of the craziest fucking places in the world.
I mean, you figure that's why they have a website that's just people at Walmart.com.
Holy shit, Greg, you said we didn't have a format. I think I got an idea.
Mm.
We both got time at Walmart. Should we go through that? Start looking at the people of Walmart?
I mean, we could. I feel like Joe Santagato's kind of got the market on that, though.
You've got a very good point. Very good point. He's been doing it for years.
Yeah. So, not trying to steal shine from Santagato Studios or anything. But listen, hey, Santagato Studios, you want to collab? Joe, Frankie, I know you're both wrestling fans. So, like, that's.
I mean, we could totally do something with you guys. We're both big wrestling guys, too.
And big football guys. So
oh, yeah. So there's been some, interesting rumors, specifically with Aaron Rodgers already. he's dodging camps wherever he can, not talking with teammates and shit. Apparently wanting Alan Lazard in Pittsburgh.
See, I haven't heard like any of that.
No?
Yeah, I've actually heard quite the opposite. So maybe it's just like people trying to stir shit. Like
very, very, very possible. And with Aaron Rodgers, it's very easy to believe some of the shit you read.
That I mean, that's fair. Like his reputation precedes him, but like I don't. Especially like being coached by a guy like Mike Tomlin, who Rodgers and Tomlin have like this level of respect between each other. We've seen that in the games that they played against each other in. So I heavily doubt that Rodgers is being a prima donna, and that's I understand his reputation before he came to Pittsburgh. So I don't know. I'm going back to something that Josh said in the chat because I need context for this. What? Is he shooting like an episode of like Kitchen Nightmares or something? Like, why is he in that area? I gotta know. Because I don't think he lives in Ohio.
No, that seems like a bit out of the way for a Gordon Ramsay type.
Yeah.
All right, pulling up some NFL news real quick, seeing if anything's happened today. Oh, Jair Alexander is a Raven.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, of course Baltimore picked him up. Of course they did. I don't know what it is about specifically Baltimore. Like they seem to always land these like big free agent names. And
remember Odell Beckham?
What's that?
Remember Odell Beckham for the 1 year they had him and he had like a career resurgence before he got hurt again?
Yeah.
I think that was right before he went to LA and won a Super Bowl.
Yeah. And they got hurt in the Super Bowl. Yeah, I don't know what it is about Baltimore. But like regular season Baltimore is like a force to be reckoned with. Playoff Baltimore is a completely different story.
Speaking of Baltimore, former 5-time Pro Bowler CJ Mosley retired. Former Raven and Jet. I remember him mostly as a Raven. I think he had a big interception in a playoff game. They didn't win it, but.
So if this is your first time joining us on the Greg Cherry Show, first of all, we're normally on Wednesdays. But I'm gonna be honest with you. Well, let's face it, this is the most honest show ever. Like there is such fourth wall stuff that like people behind the scenes, oh, we don't like to mention this, we don't like to mention this. I'm phoning this the fuck in.
Speaking of, happy Juneteenth, everybody.
Yes, happy Juneteenth. Thank God there's no, or at least there shouldn't be slavery. It's a freaking amendment, but.
Teron Armstead said in an interview, "I'm cool never having to face against a different Jared Verse again."
I'm wondering. Oh, speaking of like NFL news, Shadur Sanders decides that he likes to speed. His clock going, what, 100 or something like that?
Oh my God.
It's like,
I get he probably doesn't want to be in Cleveland.
But he's still, it doesn't matter like where he's at. Don't be freaking stupid about it. Like, that's dumb. Like, you hit something that you're not supposed to hit, you're dead.
Oh, yeah. It really is crazy.
Shadur's going to end up being like a third string QB.
He was going 101.
Listen, the fastest I've ever gone in a car is 90. And like that was on a pretty straightaway road. So,
I'm not saying anything incriminating.
It's fine. I wouldn't have lost my license. I know that much.
Again, I am not saying anything incriminating.
Fair enough. But like, come on, it's Josh wants to have a chat.
What?
Well, you said nobody wants to be in Cleveland, and I think he took exception to that. Josh,
okay.
Your first string quarterback at this rate is going to be Kenny Pickett, and you're just going to have to deal with it. But we had to.
I mean, you almost had to deal with Mason Rudolph, so.
Listen, Mason Rudolph, I would have preferred over Kenny Pickett. Let's be honest. I know Kenny Pickett won a Super Bowl, but he wasn't the starter. It was Jalen. So
Have we looked at your schedule yet this year?
we have not. I know they just recently dropped the schedule release.
Yeah, let's go. Let's take a look at your Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay, so we can skip the preseason because who cares? We actually kick it off against the New York Jets. So Aaron Rodgers, Pittsburgh Steelers regular season
Versus
debut is
Justin
going to be
Fields.
it's going to be against Justin Fields.
Justin Fields is about to put up 500 yards all-purpose on you that game, isn't he?
I mean, I think you underestimate the Steelers' defense.
I am one of the people that never underestimate the Steelers' defense. Is T.J. Watt playing?
Well, that's a good question because last I heard he still hasn't signed a new deal, and that's like if he does what he does or did the last time, it was just he walked in and didn't deal with his agent and was just like, I want to get this deal done. I don't know what the Steelers front office problem is, but it's like
they don't like paying people that deserve money.
No, it seems to be a city problem, honestly, because the Pirates are abysmal at it. But
I mean, you guys still have Andrew McCutchen out there. I mean, he's essentially an ancient relic of the baseball universe.
yeah, Andrew McCutchen was like a star 10 years ago. And then
I think you could go even further back.
Listen, there was that one game that the Pirates played that went 19 innings, and the game ended on a freaking like blown call.
I think I remember the one.
You know what I'm talking about? Like the throw was thrown to home plate, and tagged him on the knee, and the umpire called him safe in the 19th inning. It's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, I do remember that one. I remember that being all over SportsCenter for weeks.
I don't think the Pirates have been the same since. Like, I feel like it takes one bad call to just turn around the entire franchise of a sports team. Like,
it really does. One bad call, one bad injury. It's all it takes.
Jesse James caught that ball. That's a perfect example. I don't think the Steelers have been even remotely the same since that happened.
What do you think would happen if Des Bryant's catch stood and they went on?
It should have. Like, I am not a Cowboys guy, but that catch should have counted. That ball never hit the ground. He
remained contact.
And I think it was a touchdown. Like, I am calling it as I see it. Again, not a Cowboys fan whatsoever, but that was a catch.
But if they win that game, they probably go to the Super Bowl, dude.
Probably.
Do they win? I don't think so, because I think they would have still went up against Brady. But that
would have been an annoying ass Super Bowl. the Patriots with Tom Brady against the Dallas Cowboys. Oh my gosh, the two most obnoxious fan bases in football, or two of the most obnoxious fan bases. Oh my gosh, like that would have been.
Week 2 for you guys is a really weird one because you guys are you hosting? Yeah, you're hosting Sam Darnold and the Seahawks.
Mm-hmm. And they're hard to read. But
you guys have their top wide receiver.
I'm honestly not looking forward to Steelers Patriots because for some reason the Steelers can't beat New England no matter what they do. Even when Brady's gone, they can't beat them. And it drives me insane.
And I hate to say it, I really like Drake May, and I think Stephon Diggs is really going to take him to that next level. They're probably not going to beat the Bills for the division, but they're going to be so much better than they were last year.
Again, all of this remains to be seen. Vikings Steelers. That one's in Pittsburgh.
Do we even know who's the starting quarterback? Are they going with J.J. McCarthy or? I mean, we haven't even gotten to the preseason yet,
No,
so
we haven't. And like, there's a lot of questions that still need to be answered as far as that goes.
a week 5 bye week. Oh, Greg, I'm so fucking sorry.
It feels like the Steelers always get early as hell bye weeks. I don't know
13
why.
consecutive weeks.
Yeah, like the Steelers' schedule the last couple of years, they've gotten dicked so badly.
At least you get Cleveland after the bye week.
We get Cleveland after the bye week, and then we get Cincinnati in Cincinnati, and then we got the Packers on the 26th. We got the Colts. That one should be a win because it's Anthony Richardson and or freaking Danny
Daniel
Dimes.
Jones.
Yeah. Chargers
This
game.
Chargers game is going to be weird.
That one will just piss me off. It's a Sunday night. Okay. I am going to rant about the Steelers-Chargers Sunday night game. This was like a few years ago. But if those referees didn't have money on the Chargers to win that game, I don't know what the hell they were calling. There were several missed penalties. 2 of them resulted in Chargers touchdowns. Like there was a false start by a guy by like 3 seconds that wasn't called that led to a touchdown. And then there was like a block in the back or something on a punt return that wasn't called. Again, led to a touchdown. And then the Steelers trying to block the field goal. They actually did block the field goal and they were called for offsides, even though they weren't offsides. It's like, okay, if you guys are just trying to hand the game to the Chargers, you can make it less obvious that you're doing that. Travis and I almost went to that game. Thank God I did.
I think you would have had a heart attack.
I would have driven home so pissed. I would have been so angry at that game. After the Chargers, we play the Bengals again in Pittsburgh. Then we traveled to Chi-Town the week before, or the Sunday before Thanksgiving.
Is this the first time that the Pittsburgh Steelers play Caleb Williams? Did they play him last year?
No. If they would have played Caleb Williams last year, you would have heard about it.
Do you want to come on the Raw Ball podcast whenever that game is live?
If I don't work, yeah. Here's the thing that's kind of gonna screw me over a lot with the Steelers season this year. I'm starting a full-time position here in a couple weeks, but I'm working at Walmart on Sundays. Like that's the day I requested to work, so I may not get to see a lot of the Steelers season this year.
Okay.
I took
you can always tune into the Raw Ball podcast.
I was going to say, I took Saturdays off because I'm not missing Notre Dame football. After the Bears, we play the Bills, which...
At least it's at home.
That one's a loss. Calling that one now. Steelers, Ravens. And we get the Ravens twice within less than a month.
Yeah, you get them twice within 5 weeks?
Yeah. The Steelers Ravens December 7th. Monday Night Football against Miami.
It is a middle of December game in Pittsburgh. It's going to be cold, potentially snowy. Miami does not know how to play in cold weather.
So that one should be a win. Then the Steelers play the Lions in Detroit right before Christmas.
I'm interested to see how their season goes. I don't think they're going to be as dominant as they were last year.
I mean, they didn't look very dominant in the AFC divisional or the NFC divisional game, did they?
No, they got handled. So if you guys have a stifling defense, you guys might be able to control that game. Maybe. However, it is in Detroit, and they are very hot at home.
Then in between Christmas and New Year's, we get the Browns in Cleveland. And then we cap out the season with the Ravens in Pittsburgh.
Then that is a flex game. I think probably you guys will end up having a nighttime game for that.
It depends on playoff implications, I think. I feel like the entirety of Week 18 is flexed because it's like we're going to put
Who's
the
gonna
1
be
o'clock
where?
games that don't really mean a shit. The 4:25, a little more important games, the Sunday night. And I don't think there are Monday night games in Week 18, but the Sunday night games are going to be. That's going to be like the big deciding, is this team going to the playoffs or not?
So, Greg, looking at this, like before preseason, before anything, what do you think? What do you think your record's going to be this year? Do you actually break over, a winning season?
Well, of course, it's a Tomlin team. It'll go 9-8, 10-7 at the best. Just because, like, Tomlin's got to have a winning season despite himself, and then first round exit in the playoffs. Watch, rinse, repeat. That's what happened. Is like it doesn't matter at this point. It's like unless I see something develop with the Steelers' offense that they look completely unstoppable, it's just going to be same in, same out.
So, other than Pat Fryermuth and DK Metcalf, who are your pass catchers?
I don't know.
What about that Washington kid, the kid with massive hands?
Again, like I couldn't tell you. I don't know what the Steelers' offense looks like. It's so bad to the point that I'm finding it hard to get excited about Steelers football when it's like I brought this up when Maven was on it. I knew how the Steelers-Ravens wildcard game was going to go. That's why I think I turned it on for a couple minutes in the third quarter, and it was exactly what I expected. So it's like, I'm not watching this.
Oh, dude, I felt the exact same way whenever we won our fucking wild card game in the playoffs, and we're like, yeah, let's go to Buffalo.
Watching the Steelers in the playoffs in recent years is like watching Vince McMahon book in 2022. Like it's good.
This is going to be an interesting season. I really, truly think this is going to be an interesting season. Speaking of interesting seasons, what the fuck's happening with your Yankees?
I don't know. Apparently, they can't hit worth a damn.
Yeah, other than Aaron Judge, your team is kind of falling off. I think you guys lost the series to Boston, the last one.
Which is just gross for everybody involved.
And we suck. We just pulled a fucking Mookie Betts and traded Rafael Devers for a bunch of prospects?
You almost sound like the Pirates. But the thing is, I've been so terrible about following along with baseball. Yes, the Yankees are my team, but it's just I only see stuff that people like tweet about or news stories or something like that. I've been so out of the loop with baseball. It's hard because working and stuff. I mean, the Yankees beat the Angels today, so that's something. But
sorry, Jeff.
Hey, it is what it is. So I don't really know what's going on with the Yankees, but listen, I want to see what the freaking standings are.
I got them pulled up right now. So you guys are actually still at the top of the division. You guys are 2 games ahead of the Rays. That makes me sick that Tampa Bay is that far ahead. But you guys have dropped 6 of your last 10 games. Meanwhile, the Red Sox, we've won 8 of our last 10, which is surprising to me. let me see. We've got the Detroit Tigers are 48-27 with a 10-game lead on Cleveland.
Yeah.
Sorry, Josh. And then in the west of the American League, we've got the Astros, who are 5.5 ahead of the Mariners. Surprised to see the Angels at third place.
So you live in Colorado. I have no words looking at the Rockies record. Like, they've only played 75 out of 162 games. And they are 5 losses away from mathematically being eliminated from a 100-game winning season. If you tell me if they lose the next 5 games and they win their next 82 straight, they still don't get 100 wins.
Yeah, but how cool would that 82 straight wins would be?
I mean, that would be disgustingly sick. But
no, I only have 3 words for everything going on in the Colorado Rockies organization. Sell the team.
I mean, I'm sure, they're Pirates fans. I went to the McAfee show a couple months ago, and that was the chant for the Pirates organization. Bob Nutting just does not give a shit.
Dude, it's bad. He refuses to pay players, and then you look at the Rockies, and we pay players that are fucking 10 years out of their prime. We get rid of some of our best players at their peak. Look what we fucking did with Nolan Arenado. It truly is insane. And the tickets are so cheap. People are happily going to Rockies games, not to fucking, try to root for the team, but to chant and scream, sell the team.
I'm sure tickets are cheap as hell. Who would want to pay buku bucks to watch the Rockies play?
Colorado Rockies tickets. Let's see for tomorrow's game. Vivid seats. All right. Tomorrow's game at the D-backs. Or no, is that at? No, this is home. We are hosting
Arizona
for 5th row. Right field, 5th row. $21. That is fees included.
Wow.
Let's see. What
feel like if I lived in Colorado and I could bring multiple people to a Rockies game based off of Jack of all trades last year.
Let us see. To get press club tickets, that's expected to be $2,000. Let's look at general admission, rooftop seats, $43. Tickets or fees included.
It's a rough go of it.
Yeah, it is so cheap to see the Rockies live. And again, most of these people are getting tickets to chant, to bring signs that say sell the team. It is insane to see. If I'm not mistaken, the Rockies have only ever sniffed a World Series once. 2007 against the Red Sox, and they got swept. This is an organization that does not know success. It is so sad to see people that support this team, that really genuinely support this team, and the ownership gives nothing back to the people.
I got a question. So I was just looking at the standings on the MLB website.
Mm-hmm.
Did the Athletics just like WWE-ize their name and just like cut out the city? Because it just says the Athletics. There's no location attached to them.
Currently just the Athletics. I was expecting them to go with Sacramento Athletics because they're playing out of Sacramento right now. But yeah, no, they've just chosen to hit the WWE, remove the Langston from the Athletics, and we now just have the A's. From where? Parts unknown.
The parts unknown Athletics. I mean, might as well, because their wins disappear into thin air too.
Man, I thought they were going to be so much better this year.
Listen, I'm surprised the White Sox aren't the worst team in baseball.
I'm not. I told Cap at the end of last season, watch the Rockies top you guys this year. Watch the Rockies in one season break the record for the worst season in an MLB. We are that bad, Greg.
I mean, didn't the White Sox start out like 2-29 or some shit? Or am I just like making numbers up?
I think they did have some ridiculous shit like that, yeah.
So,
I mean, the Rockies, I think we went an entire month without winning a game. I mean, with the standings, it looks like we probably went 2 months without winning a fucking game.
So obviously last year, the Chicago White Sox set the worst record by a team with a 162 game season at 41 and 121. It is mathematically. So the Rockies have 87 games left, according to this.
Okay.
So they can only win, like, they can win 23 games. They just have to drop the other 104.
With this team, I see it. I'm looking at the standings right now. We have won 7 games at home. 7. I think that might be the worst I've ever seen.
I mean, that is categorically bad. Worst owned teams, Major League Baseball is the Pirates. Yeah, the Pirates are terrible. NBA is the Pelicans. I know nothing about the NBA. And NFL is the Browns for the worst owned teams in sports, and fans deserve better.
So I can give you a little bit of context for the Pelicans about how bad they were.
Okay.
There at one point they didn't have an owner. The owner I think had to drop the team due to some legal issues. So the NBA owned the Charlotte Hornets for a time before they went to New Orleans. They went to New Orleans, and there was a thing that was going to send Pau Gasol, I believe. No, not Pau. They were going to trade for a major player from the Lakers. The owner of the Hornets, which was the NBA, declined the trade, which would have been one of the biggest trades of that era. So he declined a trade that would have made, shit happen in the city that he owned a team for. They ended up selling the team to some guy that rebranded them completely to the Pelicans. You went from the Hornets to the Pelicans. The fans absolutely hated it. As well as what the team did for about the next 10 years. I think the only good thing that's come from the Pelicans is Anthony Davis, who now is injury prone, and Zion Williamson, who almost ate himself out of the NBA. Yeah, that team is bad. That team is really bad.
Yeah, and we know, especially in the last like 20 some years, how historically bad the Browns have been. Yes, they do have a playoff appearance. Yes, they do have a playoff win. But like,
Thank Baker Mayfield for that.
Yeah, which is the Browns. I feel like the Browns did Baker Mayfield dirty. Like it's like this is the most successful quarterback you have had in Cleveland since, I don't know, before Baltimore, before the Ravens existed, and you're just going to toss him to the side and take a shot
because he's
massaging
hurt
McGee.
because he carries you guys too much.
Yeah.
The Baker Mayfield incident was insane. His journey around the NFL before he landed in Tampa was even crazier.
It's ridiculous. Josh saying the Commanders ownership used to be worse. Yeah, well, Dan Snyder's not there anymore, so I think and they made the NFC Championship, so I think they're fine now.
I mean, the Dan Snyder stink probably will never leave Washington.
I mean, probably not until like the Commanders win a Super Bowl. Which
Jaden Daniels might be the one to do it.
I don't know. Like, I feel like Jaden Daniels has got that potential. And when Maven was on, I brought it up too. Like, he had a very similar season to Ben Roethlisberger in his rookie season. Like that, there were a lot of parallels there, and the exits in the rookie year were the same. It's just, I don't know, something's brewing in Washington. So I think they could be a player again this season.
Dude, Jaden Daniels did so good that it overshadowed Bo Nix, because Bo Nix had damn good season himself. Like, there was a point in time where Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix were kind of neck and neck for Rookie of the Year, and then Jaden Daniels exploded to another level. Like, Jalen Hurts' last Super Bowl exploded.
Mm-hmm.
It was insane to see Jaden Daniels do that. There is a curse with Washington quarterbacks, man. I hope it does not bite Jaden.
I feel like, I mean, watching that Super Bowl, watching the Eagles decimate Kansas City, that score doesn't tell the story of how badly Kansas City got their ass beat.
Oh, not at all.
Like you look at 40-22, and it's like, oh, well, the Eagles must have just had an offensive drive. The Eagles dominated that game for at least the first three quarters.
They didn't. Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think Kansas City scored a touchdown until the middle of the third quarter, if I'm not mistaken.
It might have been later than that, even. Like, Kansas City,
was absolutely dominated.
Yeah.
Pillar to post, it was the most dominant Super Bowl performance I've ever seen by a defense. And I watched the Broncos beat the shit out of Carolina. I also watched Seattle beat the fucking dog piss out of Denver.
Yeah, Seattle beating the crap out of Denver. What was that, Super Bowl 48?
It's ingrained in my brain, dude.
I'll tell you that
first snap.
The Legion of Boom was on another freaking level that year. It was just insane.
That era of Super Bowls really did show that defense wins championships, though.
It did. I mean, you look at Super Bowl 50. Peyton Manning was a shell of himself, and Denver still won the Super Bowl.
Brock Osweiler was our quarterback for 10 games that season.
I remember Osweiler, and he was like a big deal for a little bit too.
Oh yeah, remember the fucking bag he got from Houston?
Yep.
I think that was right after that Super Bowl season.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was excited for Osweiler, and then I heard he got a massive bag from Houston, and I'm like, oh God, we don't got a quarterback anymore. And we didn't have a quarterback for almost a decade.
Listen, I feel like a lot of Steelers fans, especially in this day and age, were spoiled by Ben Roethlisberger.
Oh, dude, you guys were definitely spoiled by Ben. Like his consistency is Hall of Fame worthy alone.
Like even though like he won 2 Super Bowls in his first 5 years, 6 years, and like after that they didn't like they made the Super Bowl one more time, but like after that, like but we were consistently like in the hunt. Like we were consistently.
You guys were just that top level veteran team, like Palomalu, Hines Ward, Heath Miller, Ben Roethlisberger, the Pouncey brothers. Like you guys had solidity. You guys had people that were damn near lifetime Steelers, all of them.
Mm.
I think one of the Pouncey brothers went to the Raiders, but like,
yeah,
it's insane, man, how you guys were able to cultivate that team, cultivate that type of a franchise from Cowher to Tomlin.
I'm telling you though, like the fact that the Jesse James catch went the way that it did, if that doesn't happen, the Steelers are the number 1 seed in the AFC. And it's probably an all Pennsylvania Super Bowl that year. I think that call changed the course of the entire conference.
Mm-hmm.
Because Jacksonville should have had New England dead to rights. That game still drives me.
Oh, dude, that game still pisses me off to this day.
But thankfully, like Philadelphia cleaned it up for them.
That was just such, and I remember that because that was just such a weird. That was Blake Bortles' Jaguars team, wasn't it?
Yep. And I think I was specifically rooting for the Jags to move on to the Super Bowl because there was an Oil City kid on the team, Ben Koyak, who played for Notre Dame. So like I had a little bit of vested interest in that game, but it still.
The final 4 quarterbacks in that, the final 4 there was Nick Foles, yep, Blake Bortles, Tom Brady, and Case Keenum.
And Case Keenum making a conference championship game just doesn't sound right.
Neither did the contract that Denver gave him shortly afterwards. Again, Denver was in the shits for a while after Peyton.
Yeah.
I think Jacksonville would have won that Super Bowl though if they had went.
You think Jacksonville would have beat Philly? Like
that was the Saxonville defense, bro. They were insane. I genuinely think they would have walked away with the Super Bowl championship there, and Blake Bortles would have been a Super Bowl starting quarterback. I believe he's got a ring as a backup.
So yeah, you can tell this is a non-formatted show, can't you?
Oh yeah.
Listen, I am on vacation next week, so there's not going to be a show next week, unless I just randomly because I'm taking my tripod and my phone. Like my phone's what I show on anyway. So if I get a wild hair up my ass to be like, I want to stream. I'm gonna throw on the show and see what happens. But worst comes to worst, like I will see Yins on July 2nd, I believe. So that's my last full week at Walmart. But I'm staying on Sundays.
Do you Do you want to plug what you're doing? I believe you're dropping something this Saturday, ain't you?
I am dropping something this Saturday. I don't have the graphic uploaded, which is my bad, but this Saturday I'm dropping an old segment from the Greg Cherry Show, from like one of the probably the second ever episode of the show. And it's a segment called Crafting with Greg. Now, if you watch the Cooking with Greg segment, it's very much in the same vein. And like, but this is a little different because I actually try to learn how to craft, because my wife, Jen, who we just celebrated our 14-year wedding anniversary yesterday, she's actually very good with like the arts and crafts side. I don't have that brain. And that's put fully on display in this segment. Since there's no Greg Cherry Show next week, you're still getting a Saturday video next week as well. And I've alluded to this on a number of occasions on this show, but I don't think anybody has actually seen the footage of what I'm talking about. So for the first time on the Greg Cherry brand, I am highlighting my entire first professional wrestling match. This happened many moons ago when I was in slightly better shape. But if you watch it, and it's 2009 and like fan cam footage, so it's not the best. But you can make out enough of it.
How many people have actually watched this other than the people that were in attendance?
So, like, I pulled this off of YouTube because it does exist on YouTube. It's just very difficult to find unless you know what you're looking for. So, with it being on my channel now, like, people will be able to find it easier because it's attached to my name. But I think only a couple hundred people, maybe, that weren't in attendance, and some of those views might have just been me also, like, because I searched it out and looked for it. But yeah, it's something that, like, not a lot of people get to say that they get to do, especially like we've all seen, you know, Sean Ross Sapp do like these independent shows, and like he did GCW and stuff like that, and like there are a lot of wrestling content creators who have never gotten in the ring before. I'm one of the ones who gets to say that I have been in the ring before. I'm not going to say that, you know, I was phenomenally athletic, because that's a falsehood. But the fact is, I got in the ring, I got to tell a little bit of a story, I got to show some facial expressions, and I got to take some bumps. So like if your expectations are to see like me be like AJ Styles, lower your expectations significantly.
So we're not seeing a Greg Cherry's Phoenix Splash.
Listen, I can pull one off on a trampoline, but I didn't do one of this match. At least I used to be able to do a Phoenix Splash on a trampoline. I haven't tried it in a long time. But yeah, I am looking forward to seeing the reaction to me actually being in the ring for a match. I also say that since I am playing the role of a manager as far as this goes, so it's like I'm a heel manager and just get my comeuppance and stuff like that. That's pretty much what you get to expect with that. So I do get some offense, but it's not what I'm actually. So there you go. That's what you can expect from next Saturday's video, because the Saturday uploads are going to continue. I like having those so that you don't just get the live shows on Wednesday. I'm trying to be better about uploading more content for you to watch. That isn't always the same thing. I like to mix it up. Hopefully, and this is on me, really, but Maddie, I'd like to get you more involved too. I would like to get Joe happening again.
Oh, absolutely. It's been too long. I mean, Maven was on the last one, wasn't he?
Yeah, Maven was on the last one, and that's almost a year ago, like to the day. So we got to make it happen.
We need to try to get this going again.
We do, because I like doing shows. It's such a fun show, and like with the news of like Tempest leaving Wrestle Talk, like the wrestling quiz shows, like Survival Series and Quizlemania, like those have gone by the wayside. It's like those shows are fun, those shows are entertaining, and that's why I love doing Jote, because yes, it was kind of, I started the show as kind of like, hey, if you're not gonna make me on Quizlemania, I'm gonna do my own thing. And then I got on Quizlemania, I still did the show anyway. But it's a fun thing. Like I like hosting game shows. That's why I like doing that. That's why I like doing Luck of the Draw. It's why I like doing Wrestling Trivia Challenge. Like I like that kind of stuff. It's things I enjoy doing. So,
and it's something that, I mean, there's going to be a niche for again. Like you said, things haven't really been the same in that whole little space for a while.
Yeah. So I've actually got to talk to you off air about it, because I would love to have the conversation, but that's my plan, essentially, is to bring those shows back. Wrestling Trivia Challenge, is that going to happen again? I know it got some views as far as the lost episode that I had just straight up never uploaded after we did it. But yeah, like I want to bring that kind of stuff back. I like doing the live content and doing the show with Maven with the Blast, and hopefully in the future we can get some more mainstream people involved. But until then, again, no Greg Cherry show next week. If one happens, it's completely on a whim. So subscribe to this channel. Go follow me on TikTok, because apparently my opinions matter there, because they don't.
Are you still popping off on TikTok?
What's that?
You still popping off on TikTok?
Not as much. Like it tapered off after a couple days, but still, I got like 16,000 views on just my like opinion piece. And I posted another one about Raw and got like 4,000 views. So apparently I've got something as far as like doing quick reviews of the shows. I don't know. Like apparently my wrestling opinion in text form is more valid on TikTok than it ever was on Twitter. So don't follow me on TikTok. I'm almost at 1,000 followers. Perhaps I can bring the Greg Cherry show to TikTok. That would be wild. I would love to do that, because I feel like we could find more of an audience. Imagine somebody scrolling up their live and seeing me doing like wrestling intros and stuff like that as they're scrolling by. Be like, this guy is insane. So go follow me on TikTok. I'm almost at 1,000 followers. Go tell your friends about it. Go tell whoever you want. Like, this show cannot grow just on me promoting it, because I can't promote worth a shit. So, like, if you watch the show, if you love the show, if you love us, tell more people about it, even if they're not wrestling fans. Like, we can talk about more stuff. Who cares? Like, we
were just talking football and baseball most of the show.
Yeah. I mean, we spent like 15 minutes talking about gas station slot machines one week. You never know what you're going to get on this show.
Weird state laws, wrestling trivia, football takes. We do it all, folks.
75 jumping jack. Thank God we didn't have to do that this week.
Oh, thank God. Well, that was back-to-back shows that we had to.
that was wild. Like, I was like, man, I'm an idiot for booking it like this. But, yeah. So go tell everybody you know about it. There's no Dynamite tonight, so I'm not plugging that. Go watch Impact. I mean, I think it's on. So
I'm pretty sure it's on right now.
Yeah. So there you go. Until the next time we see you, for Matty Laws, I am Greg Cherry. Don't be a jag, and we'll see you next time on the Greg Cherry Show.